Hey y'all, it's me, Niecy Lynn. This is the 16th of June, 2023. This is the episode where nothing works, not even me. If I look weird today, it's because I started putting my makeup on and did not put any base on and didn't realize it till I had my whole face finished. So, here it is. There's under eye concealer with no base. So, I probably look real odd. The camera remote didn't want to work. The camera remote on my watch wouldn't work. I mean, everything's been trying to work on me this morning. That's okay, because I told y'all last week I was gonna have an FFO-a-palooza. So this is also our FFO-palooza, because I got all my Patriotic finishes done. And it took a long time. Basically like it would probably be a whole day and part of another day. I worked on it for 2 days, And so the first day I was like, why are you not done? You should be done. This should not be this hard. And it wasn't hard, but what I was not taking into account is, so I did my Language of Liberty banners by Hands On Design. So my Language of Liberty banners, but that's actually 3 finishes, and they're triangle finishes. So they're not a circle or a square that I normally do. So they're a little bit, different. So if you have that to finish, if you will follow Kathy's directions, her tutorials are always dead on. Do what she says. And I'm telling you, it will work every time. But you're FFOing 3 things, not 1, right? So I guess we'll start off with, we'll do Shepherd's Bush first, because this is the one I did first, so it went fast, right? And this is Earth's Delight by Shepherd's Bush. And I stitched this, I can find 2022. So I stitched this last year, because you can see my initials right there and the little year right there. So this is so precious. I just pulled my own colors if I remember right. But I loved it. They had the little flag, so it had to be a patriotic finish. I may still put a little piece of twine around here. I thought about doing that, and I didn't go back and do that in all my working on the others. So I finished up this one, and I just always put felt on the back just because. And I'm just gonna put it in my little tiered tray or something. But it is so adorable. The little sheep, I did put my Whisper Gallery fuzzy. You can kind of see the fuzzy yarn on them. They're so cute. But of course, Shepherd's Bush is always so pretty. And it is 1/2 on what appears to be, I would guess, 28 or 32. I'm gonna guess a 32, but I could be wrong. But I love this, but it finished off super fast because it was just a little rectangle. So easy, right? No problem. So that one was fast. And then I started, I started on my banners. And I stinking love them. They came out perfect. If you will follow Kathy's tutorial, you just do what she says. Do what she says. It is so cute. Everything is in the kit. I'm sure some places still have them. I know it was a release for a retreat. And I think Jackie sent it to me. If not, I'm sorry if I said the wrong name. I didn't go, I should have checked that, and I didn't. I love this. It is so beautiful. I wanted to have it finished, and I was scared to do it because there's a lot to it. So there are the backs. So it is, you can hang it where you can see either side. Now I always usually finish off my back. If I forget occasionally, but I usually don't, because I like it to look neat when I pull it out. It's just like me making up my bed in the morning. There are just things that make me feel better, and the back of my piece being covered like it makes me feel better for some reason. Oh, little hummingbirds. But so you had to cut out your triangles out of your mat board, okay? And then you had to cover them with fabric, some of them with fabric and batting. And then the top one you had to cover. So I guess actually you're doing 1, 2, 3. There's 3 cover pieces to cover in a triangle for each one. So it was time consuming. It wasn't hard because I read the directions through and I read them again, and then I just started in doing what she said. So it went fine. It's just time consuming because there's a lot to it. And it has a lot of like the little trims and all this. So I'm so happy to have it finished. I will hang it on the little wreath up there that you can't see right now because I've got it kind of pointed down lower so we could be up closer to the finishes. But they turned out so pretty and I am so in love with them. I just kept looking at them and looking at them. I am nuts about them. So just don't shy away from these just because they're triangles or you don't know if you can finish them. Listen, you know, and I tell you all the time, if I can do it, anybody can do it. That ain't no joke. I am not, I'm not a pro finisher for certain. Anybody looking at these would be like, oh, yep. The only thing that I wish, because you can, I don't know if I can, I mean, you have to be up close on it, but you can see some of my little folds right there that you can't in hers. I don't know if I can get it up here close enough to see, for it to show. See right there? You can see my little fold right down on the tip right there. So, I mean, and I'm pretty sure that, you know, Martha Stewart ain't coming to check these out or nothing. So, and if she is, Martha, sorry about your bad luck. Because these are just for me and I love them and I am so excited to have them finished. I love stitching them. They stitched up really fast and then I just let them sit because I was scared to FFO them. The only thing is I kept putting off because I said, I'm gonna make James Williams help me cut my triangles. Because, you know, they tell you to cut and cut through and cut through. I can never hold the ruler down tight enough and I get off a little bit. And so it just makes me nuts. I'm sure it's because I try to go too fast. They tell you to go slow, but we all know how that works for me. So I got out my guillotine cutter. I have one of those swing line, you know, paper choppers. And I got it out and had traced my triangles on there and I let my line continue on after I traced my triangle so I could line it up on the line of the cutter and then I chopped. And it worked great. They were perfectly straight and I was so excited. So I put it off for all this time for no reason. Hi, Patty Cat, what you do? What you do? You want to say hi? Huh? You want to say hi, baby? You want to say hi, baby? Huh? You probably don't. Yeah, are you mad, huh? Are you mad? There is a fly or a butterfly or something on the back door that is taunting her. The other morning I let her out and the mockingbirds got after her and had her cornered up here against the back window. So, but I put it off all this time for nothing. I could have finished it and got it done, and I don't know where I put the year on some of these. There's my initials. So I know it's on here somewhere. Anywho, I think I finished them last year and they just sat, which makes me so sad to think that they're just sitting. And it tells you, you'll see that they're on the edge or overlapping. She tells you in the directions that it's meant to be that way. Not to freak out, that it is meant to go right to the edge and pull around the edge just a little bit. But I am so excited to have these finished and ready to display because I am in love with them. I'm so excited. So that was super exciting for me to get that finished. Okay, let's see, we put these back here. They're over here. Let's put them over here. Maybe Betty won't sit on them. Where is she going right now to sit on them? Hey, don't sit on that, rude. Don't be rude. Don't be rude. She's heading right over here to sit on them, y'all. The minute I said don't sit on them, that's right where she was headed. Now, I had my Patriotic Barn Trio also. And I told you I wanted to do it in a drum. And y'all know Ann made my beautiful perfect drum here and my birthday drum that I had out at Spring. I did this one a couple of years back. This I stitched on Ada instead of linen. We were on a car trip somewhere, I think, and I took it and stitched it in the car. And as you can see, I didn't get this lined up perfectly, but I mean, it's fine. I love her. She's beautiful. If you ever get a chance to stitch this, she is worth every stitch. She's a beauty. This is the first drum I ever did. So, you know, and I do think I did this one by hand, and I couldn't remember, but I do think I did this whole thing by hand. So when I started thinking about working on this one, I know a lot of y'all don't have a sewing machine and don't sew on a sewing machine, right? So I wanted to think, I wonder if I could do them by hand 100%, because if somebody's got it sitting there languishing in their stack, I hate the thought of that. So here is Patriotic Barn Trio by Waxing Moon Designs. I don't know, I would have to go back and look. If I mean, if any of you want to know, I don't know. I probably did a lot of the called for colors and just changed up a few. I don't know that. But I joined all mine together to make them into a drum. I've done this with several, and I'll probably do them with several more because I love them. I did this one in 2022. So there's 2022, and there are my initials right there. I love this. I finished it 100% by hand. So this seam is by hand. This is one of Pap's old shirts, James Williams' old shirts. This blue, I don't know, sometimes it looks like it's perfect and sometimes it looks really bright. And so I don't know, sometimes it looks really brighter than I like it. And I don't know why that day if it was cloudy, but see, that looks really bright, a lot brighter. But then something like this, it's perfect. So I don't know, it's fine for me anyway. But I did get it finished. It's filled with fiberfill. It's got a little button and the little 20, there, it's gonna focus right there, 2022 charm. I stinking love these. I love all the Waxing Moon Patriotic, or all their trios, but I've done several of the Patriotics. And because here is that's a Patriotic House trio over there. And that's the one Ann finished for me. And we're not gonna hold that one up close right now. Because Ann's is perfection and so beautiful, and yeah, mine ain't there. But mine works for me, and I just wanted to know if it could be done all by hand if somebody wanted to. And so it can all be done by hand 100%. So if you don't have a sewing machine and you want to make a drum, you still can. It works 100%. The only thing I was concerned about was this one here, and I hand stitched it and it came out. So I am super excited with, I'll move that so you can see it there, how that lined up and stitched. This one, I think I put I skipped. So there's like, just like I was doing over 2. So this is where I put my seam, was over 2 on each side. Over 2 on each side. So it leaves just about 1 showing in between. I use my clear, that's my Gutermann's. I need to trim that off. I thought I got all that trimmed off. Clear thread. for the putting the finishes on. So and attaching. So I use my clear thread to attach here, around here, and around up here, and then to put the trim on with was the clear thread. But I am super stoked that I've got them done and they're ready to display, and I just kept looking at them ever since I got them finished, and I love them. So he's done. Earth's Delight was done. My banners were done. And then I had Where Liberty Dwells. And it's supposed to be a needle roll. And I stitched it way on back in 2021. And I kept putting it off, FFOing it. And I think because I did not want to put it in a needle roll, because the design is beautiful. It's Where Liberty Dwells, There Is My Country. So it's called Where Liberty Dwells by Heartstring Samplery, Beth Twist. And it is a beautiful design, but I didn't want to roll it up so I couldn't see it. Because, you know, a needle roll, like a housewife or a, you know, housewife, however you say that, needle roll, and, you know, you fold it all up on itself, then it ties with a string. But then you can't see but just a little bitty scrap of your design. And I'm thinking, she designed this is gorgeous. So I decided to make it into a drum too. So while I was hand stitching drums, this went down. And I could not be happier. This design is so beautiful, y'all. So beautiful. Now I will tell you, okay, so here we go. So here is where I put, this is the side. So it's supposed to be the end. So there's my initials in 2021. And here you can see, I mean, this design is stunning. So this was supposed to be the end of it. If any of you are thinking about doing this, let me tell you what I would do if I had it to do again. I would skip over the same amount of space as I am from here to here. I would put this flower and I would put my initials. I would then on the other side put the flower and put the year. I would not put my eagle on there, okay? And then I would pull this out to make it square, like this. I would stitch my eagle and put him on the top. I measured it every way I could, and there was no way to get enough fabric around him and enough to finish this off here. I just couldn't make it work. So, and I'd already ironed my stabilizer onto the back. So there's no pulling out stitches. If I had not already done my stabilizer on there, I could have pulled out the stitches and just restitched him, right? And just gone down right here, finished this here with a straight down line, and then met these two up and then restitched him and put him on another piece on top. But if I had it to do over again, that's what I would do, and I would turn it into a needle roll. So here's the bottom. Here again, I did this one 100% by hand. I just always think you have to do this one on a sewing machine, but I didn't, and it works just fine. This one has lizard litter and walnut shells in it. This one is just all fiber fill, and there's a ton. I mean, there's a big weight difference. This one's fatter anyway, but I was out of fiber fill, so there you go. I went digging and found my lizard litter and my walnut shells, and that wins. This was some trim that was in the, I think, Michael's clearance section one time that I bought. It is red and green, but this has a lot of green and that red in there with it together, and I like that. And I didn't have any that was red and blue, so this was the winner. But I could not be more happy with how these guys turned out. On this one, I put little charms on the end. There is the 2021 charm when I stitched it, and there is a little heart on there. Y'all have been so sweet to send different little charms, and I try to put them on things. But I do love this. So anybody who has this in their stash but hasn't stitched it or has stitched it and not FFO'd it, this is what I did. And I'm so much happier than if it would have been in a needle roll. Because this is gorgeous design and I didn't want it to all be rolled up where I couldn't see it. I think this is on 32 count French Country Mocha or Vintage Country Mocha from Floss and Fabric. Hey, Jerlyn. And I don't know. I think these has some of my Wicked Stepmother colors in it. I'm not sure though. I think this one and this one. I would have to go back and look. But that was my FFOing this week. So some of my stitching time, a lot of my stitching time was taken up with FFOing. The one day I didn't have the kids here, I dedicated the whole day to FFOing, and then another evening went into this one. So, but they all got done. All got done, and they're all here and ready to roll and making me so happy. So I have those guys and my banners, and so I got my FFOing done that I wanted to get done. So that made me crazy, crazy happy. Crazy happy. I did work on some of my FFOs this week, and I kitted up something that I want to talk about. So let's talk about that first. I saw this on Kathy Haberman Hand-On Designs, and I have got it all here ready to roll. This is her N is for Narwhal, and all the proceeds go to Special Olympics. So I had James Williams printed off for me, and it's N is for Narwhal, and all those proceeds do go to the Special Olympics. And I thought it was so cute. This whole series is adorable. I think the series is called Polar Plunge. And so cute. My mama went on an Alaskan cruise one time. I've never been, but I've never been on a cruise. I don't know if I could sleep in one of them cabin boats. I don't know. But it is adorable. I will go on her website and see how to FFO it. It doesn't have, it's not a ton of stitching. Let's see how big it is. 51 by 52. So it's not going to be a whole lot to stitch. So I may grab it this weekend, and this may be my weekend. I may work on this weekend, even though I'm not wanting to let myself have any new starts. But I would like to get it finished and see if I could get all the paper, because it tells you that you can go on and look on there and, oh, the whole design, hang on. Okay, I've read this all wrong. Yes, no, that's right. But there are the finishing tutorial. She has a finishing tutorial on her, and I'm telling y'all, her finishing tutorials are dead on 100%. Just do what she says, and it will turn out. And so I think this is like paper on here, some kind of paper. So I'm going to see if I can get the tutorial together and get over to the Joann's or Hobby Lobby, wherever his paper's at. Or we have a really nice scrapbook store on the square in Waxahachie. So if it's something that has to be a special order, I can get it ordered over there. But that one, N is for Narwhal from Kathy Haberman Hand-On Design. Go grab that, and all those proceeds go to that super good cause. So that's where I'm at with that. But I wanted to say that before I forgot. This is my tiny, tiny, tiny Permin number 1123. It's so little. It's so tiny. And I got a decent amount, seemed like, done on it this week. I'm all over the place here. Let's see, I heard from Mama 7 times yesterday. We had the same conversation 7 times, and that's okay. And already once again this morning, she's just in that place in her head. I was gonna go over this afternoon with the girls, but I ordered her some new clothes, and they are not here yet. So they're supposed to be here tomorrow. So the girls and I will go over on Monday and see her. And that'll make her super happy. And then she's supposed to go to lunch with some friends. We're supposed to pick her up on Tuesday. And then we have her baby brothers and sisters. Well, the only two left, they're the twins, the youngest ones. And we have their birthday party next weekend. So, and I'll have the girls. So we are all gonna go down there and have a big visit. So that'll be fun. So this is my Permin of Copenhagen, whatever, 141123. And so I'm nearly done. I just have the sky and that little bit at the bottom. So I'm super happy with how this one is progressing. Should be finished this week, I would think. But I love it. It was my super late night stitch because we all know, you know, you have those nights when you don't sleep nowadays. And last night was one of those nights too, hence the under eyeliner, under eye cover up, because we had seen something on TV and we talked about a Slurpee. I assume everybody has a 7-Eleven and has like a Slurpee, or has some other kind of store that has some place to call them icy, but we call them Slurpee. And the only kind of Slurpee I will drink is a Coke one. A Coke Slurpee is fabulous, right? You could not want for anything better. What Yersty James Williams had to be, yes. Tried my new feeder. Micah got me a new hummingbird feeder and I haven't caught any of them on it. And so one of them just went up there and tried it. He didn't stay there, but he went up there. So that's something. So I'm super excited about that. Yay. Anywho, he had a concrete pour yesterday morning. So he had to be at work at 3:30. 3 or 3:30. I was still asleep. And so then when he was coming in, Yersty, he came in early. And so he said, I said, well, Micah and the girls are taking just the airport. And he said, well, don't let them leave. Don't let them leave before I get there. I said, okay. And so he comes in with these Slurpees. So he's got some kind of pink one and a blue one because he told Aria they didn't have no purple that he could find that was the grape one was out. And so he has this pink and this blue icy, and then he has me a Coke icy, and which I was super excited about. And I drank and I loved it, and it was delicious, and it was so sweet of him to bring it. But I was up till 1 o'clock this morning because the caffeine and the Coke Slurpee. So, yay. So I slept late this morning, so I'm off to a little bit of a late start, but Copenhagen, James Williams dips Copenhagen occasionally. Now, this is the weird thing about James Williams. He does not dip in my house. He does not dip here. If we're doing an outside project, he will occasionally dip. But if we go to Mexico, we'll be gone for 8 days. We've gone to Jamaica. We were gone for 9 days. He does not even take snuff. So you don't have to dip. You choose to dip, okay? If you can go for 9 days, but you do not have to dip. You do not have to have that tobacco product. But one time years ago, and I'm off on a rabbit hole here because we're in Copenhagen. We were having an argument about, of course, what do you have an argument about? Either your kids or your money. It's either family or money, right? That's what you argue about. It was about money. And I said, well, then I guess you just go and quit dipping. That'll save you a fortune right there. And he, honest to goodness, y'all, if I'm lying, I'm dying. He turned around and looked at me and said, well, what about your tampons? What? Are you seriously comparing feminine hygiene products and your tobacco, not even a habit, your tobacco-like? Yes, he did. Yes, he went there. And I guess y'all know how that went over. About like a Led Zeppelin, you can imagine. Then it was on like chicken bone. It got bad. But yes, my husband compares that with his recreational snuff dipping. Yeah, so that's where Copenhagen got me this morning. Yes, so, but it did get me a Coke Slurpee yesterday that kept me up to 1 o'clock this morning. So, but this one should be finished this week. And I won't have to see the word Copenhagen again. Because every time I do, I think about that argument. And I think about the fact that my husband thinks that feminine hygiene products are somehow optional, or somehow something you can do without. I don't know what in the world he thinks. And y'all, he ain't a stupid man. He ain't, I do not know. But he seriously said that to me, and he's, I mean, deadpan. He was serious as a heart attack. If I'd had a machete in my hand right then, that's why my daddy never did teach me to shoot. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if I'd had a gun, I'd have killed him. Right then and there. That'd been the end of it. Yes. Yes, he did. I worked on my pink Sparrow Sampler. Hey, Daleen. I am loving this thing. It is so beautiful. It is by With Needle and Thread. I'm using my colors, my Wicked Stepmother colors. I just pull my own colors. And she has a new color, which one of my very favorite songs all the time. Jolene, 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 Jolene. I love that song. And that is the name of it, is Jolene. And it is such a beautiful song, and that's the name of it. But I'll be dang if I tried to share it on my story last night, and I've got to get Micah to help me today to see what's going on. Something has changed, because the way I used to could share things is not working. And so I'm on the stroke bus with the sharing of this Jolene color. It is gorgeous red. It's so pretty. And so go check out Wicked Stepmother. Her new color is beautiful. And these are all her colors. Everything on this sampler is a Wicked Stepmother. So it's Frankie and Rhonda. And let's see if I can kind of try to pull this way. And here is the cover picture. Put it on here instead of the chart. Where is the cover photo? Right there. Y'all know I keep my stuff on a clipboard. I like having a clipboard to hold it, and then I lean it against my pillow pal. And I forgot to get my thread. I was going to show you how somebody asked about my thread. Lord, maybe I'll remember to get it next week. This is Pink Sparrow Sampler, and it is gorgeous. It's by With Needle and Thread. She is Country Stitches online. I'm sure it's on there if you need a PDF download. I know some of y'all in Africa and Australia and some places it's cost can be, and time to get things there can be an issue. So I got both sides of my top done now. So I'm, what is that? Probably a third. Yeah. I'm about a third finished with the inside. My border is completely done. So I had done this one over here last week, and so I did this one this week. And the colors on here, let me see, are probably about like that. The pink does not show up as good on here as it does, maybe like that. This light pink shows up really well in person, but it's not picking it up so good on the camera. Or the gold. These two aren't showing up as good as they do in real life. But these are all my Wicked Stepmother colors. I don't know if she has them in the shop right now, but I will run through them. So we are at 33.36 if anybody needs to come back to these colors. And so you can contact Frankie about these, Frankie and Rhonda. Run Run Rudolph, Paper Roses, Figgy Pudding, Holly Jolly Christmas, Autumn Sweater, Blackberry Winter, Green River. This is Lavender's Blue, Mrs. Brown. You've got a lovely daughter. That's fabulous song. And if you, Frank and Ron name all theirs after songs. Barbie Girl, Harvest Moon. I've got a mess there. Falling Leaves, and Woolly Swamp, another one of my favorites. If you've never heard Woolly Swamp, go look that up. You will be sad if you miss it. But I stinking love it. It's on a piece of 30 count pecan shortbread. 30 count pecan shortbread, and I have used tags and things from time to time, but sometimes I just write it in my little fine permanent fabric marker right there on the end. So it says, till I get done, it's on there and I don't have to worry about keeping up with it. So I could not be happier with this. Now I get to start on my alphabet in the middle. I think with my alphabet, I'm going to do it because I love some red alphabets, but I don't have any true red in here. So I think my alphabet, that top alphabet, I'm gonna do in Blackberry Winter like this, which is a, let's see if I can get the colors to show up. It is beautiful red and kind of a red and maybe even a dark maroon, I guess is where I would go with that, a red and maroon, a dark red and maroon color, but it's Blackberry Winter. And that's what I'm gonna do my letters in. So I will get them done hopefully this week. That is my goal, is to have this section of the alphabet here done this week. So if I can get that done. This one I'm doing, I think I'm going to put Good Old Girl's name in here. So I may take these, the little alphabets, and put Good Old Girl's name in there. The only thing is, Good Old Girl's name is very long. I mean, her last name, Ledbetter. Ledbetter is a long name. So I'm gonna have to see how I can squeeze it all in. I may can go Velma Onis Horton Ledbetter like that. It should be Velma Onis Horton Ledbetter, but I know I can't get Ledbetter in there. So, and then I'll put, I could do it over one. I'm not sure where I'm gonna go with it, but, or I could take this border out and put her name in here. Would probably be smarter. Put this little design out of the center and just do part of it at the end and put her name across the center. And then I can put her dates on here, and then I'll have my daddy's and my Aunt Pat's and my Aunt Lynn's initials in here. Because she used to tell me the rhyme, little birdie with a yellow bill hopped upon the windowsill with sparkling eyes and feathers red, and said, "Wake up, Niecy, you sleepyhead." So that may, I'm thinking I will do this one for her. And I just got to figure out how I'm going to work her into the piece. And y'all know I never have a good plan. I just always kind of, I have done better planning on this one than I usually do. So that's why I have not stitched on Noah this week. I have not taken the time to sit down and figure out how I'm going to stitch out my Genesis, the scripture verse on there, how the number. So I've got to sit down and do that. But that is my pink Sparrow Sampler. And then Halloween Rules, we're going to have to try to squeeze this guy on here. I've got to make a longer board because he is getting long. This is Halloween Rules by Lizzie Kate. I'm doing the whole long piece like this. They are available for 1, 2, 3 stitch. Check with your LNS first and see if they have them in stock. Because these are from usually says on here somewhere I can find it. And I can't find it today. That's weird. Usually I can find where it says on there, but I can't today. These are the called fors that are in a big hot mess because I've taken some of mine off of bobbins and things. And so I need to iron them or steam them or whatever, but I haven't done it, you know, because, well, I'd rather be stitching. Let's just be honest. We're among friends here. Can be honest. I'd rather be stitching than ironing my floss. And Frankie, also Wicked Stepmother, congratulations on finishing your Love Is Not All sampler. It is beautiful. She has sent it to get it framed, and you know, I finished mine, but I didn't do mine exactly like she charted it because, well, I don't follow rules well, I guess. Or we know. Here again, no use lying among friends. I always get off on some kind of wild tangent. I am having everybody over tonight. Keely and Bebe and Micah and the girls will be over. Justin's out of town. They took him to the airport, you know, yesterday, so he won't be here. But So we will be having stroganoff, which is one of Pap's favorite things. And that way Keely doesn't have to worry to try to get to a restaurant fast, because he's got hay coming up out the field and all this. My brother-in-law, I should have brought some in here to show y'all. Keely has corn planted, but he ain't planted sweet corn. He's just planted crop corn, right? So it's like just for feed and things. He doesn't go to, like, it's not sweet corn like you eat, right? But Ray planted an acre of sweet corn, and it is so beautiful this year. It is, I don't remember the corn ever being this pretty. It is gorgeous. So this is Halloween Rules by Lizzie Kate. Anyway, I've got some of that, so I'll probably cook some of it tonight too, just because it's beautiful. And kids will eat corn on the cob. Kids will always eat corn on the cob, right? Okay. Ta-da! It takes a minute, but you see we're right down at the bottom. So if we're gonna show it all next week, we have to have a longer board. So I was working on this guy. I got my border finished. I got my words finished. And I started on my two little owls here. So this is the one I'm working on, Stay Up Late. So I just need to fill in my owls and do my branch. So it should be, that one should be finished before next week. This is my halfway mark. There are 12 of them. And so Stay Up Late is halfway. And so then I will be on the bottom half of the stitch. Oh, Patty, you scared me to death. Oh, Lord. Patty, we do not want to see your booty on camera. Please go away. On top of the fact that Pat's going to whip you if you're on the table. Patty, why do you think you can do whatever you want? She's just literally completely turned her whole back on me. I'm going to see if I can turn this without making y'all fall off the table. Look at her. Patty is a piece of work. She's literally just sat here and turned her whole back on me. But I'm loving this. I cannot wait to have it finished and framed for next Halloween. I've loved it. I think so many people have stitched this. I know Priscilla and Chelsea stitched it. I've seen tons of people stitch it, but it is adorable. It's nice because you have a little feeling of accomplishment each time you finish one of these. So even though it's a big piece, you can tell exactly, you know, how you're progressing because you're seeing yourself just move down the line here. So here I am at Stay Up Late. So then I just have these 6 left. So I'm so excited. I'm just going to love having this finished and framed next year. It's one of my 19 that I started with last summer. I knew I would not have it finished by the time July got here. I could have if I'd stitched on it more instead of other things, but I wasn't going to. So it's just going along right like I like it to. So I will get it done in plenty of time to have it take its place of importance. I am starving this morning. I guess because I stayed up till 1. I'm like starving Marvin. And I ain't done anything yet hardly today. Take phone calls. I had lots of phone calls. I talked to Mama again this morning. Not 7 times yet, but last night, 4 of them were after James Williams got home yesterday, and he was like, how are you not losing it? I'm like, she can't help it. She don't mean it. I mean, she don't know she didn't just call me 30 minutes ago, an hour ago. She don't know. He's like, I just don't know. I don't think I can do it. I'm like, well, you probably couldn't. Let's be honest. Here, let's not do that. You probably wouldn't. You could, but you wouldn't. Let's not do that. You could, but you wouldn't. But fussing at her about it ain't gonna help. She don't know. She don't know. She just called me. Lordy. Oh, and I forgot my driver's license photos again. My new driver's license still has not come in. I thought it would be here by now, but I forgot it, and I forgot to get my binder clips for all my floss. I have the big binder clips like these, with the big giant ones, and all my DMC floss is on it in numerical order. It's actually split in two because there's too many. So, and then I have one ring that's my Wicked Stepmother colors, and then all my others are broke up into color groups on big rings. So I have a ring like this, and it has all my blues in it, whether they're weeks or gassed or, yeah, whatever. They're on one for blue and one for red and one for like this. I know tons of people do them, have a ring for each one and do them in alphabetical order, which works for some people. I tend to not, I switch up colors so much that I like to have them in colored groups. So all my reds are together that aren't DMC or aren't Wicked Stepmother. All my overdyes that are red, they're on a ring, and the blue is on a ring. So then I can take and lay it on my fabric and pull what color I want like that, if that makes any sense. I know, Christine, I said I would get my floss strings, but I forgot. And I forgot my driver's license photos. So even though I have stars out here to remind myself to get them. Mary, thank you. I am worried about Micah being out there all by herself. Justin is fabulous. He is so helpful. He is such a good dad and such a good husband, but he does travel a lot. So it does worry me with them being there and her, you know, not having any backup support. So that does worry me. Viv says, okay, this FLOCHE thread is, this word is flosh. She says it's like Josh, flosh. So I hope I'm saying it right now, flosh. So I'm gonna try to put that in my mind. So thank you, Viv, for that. Sue, because I never know if I'm saying anything right. Sue said, I'm practice making a strawberry on plain fabric before making one with your stitch piece. I think that is a genius idea. And I intend to do that because I'm dying to make, and I've got y'all all wonky now, don't I? You can see Patty over there in the background. There we go, maybe. I want to make strawberries, so I will practice with some plain fabric. I need to make some little ones to go in my dough bowl anyway, so that is a good idea to practice just sewing one with a piece of fabric, exactly how the instructions say, before you do one with your stitch piece. That's a great idea. Karen, we fished for crawdads with bacon or hot dogs. My kids did too. We always like to go crawdad fishing. Now, I would not cook them for my kids. I did not. My Amy cooked them. My Amy would cook them for us. She would make us a mess of crawdad tails and they would be delicious. But I am not about that life. I cannot. It is one of my great downfalls. Lucinda, that hairdo is super easy, but I forgot to bring my brush. You basically just part your hair down the middle, take this section here, and then you do a French twist. So as you pick up, like, you know, you do like this, and then twist it all the way down to the end and put your little rubber band right here. And then you take the hair back here and grab it into a ponytail and reach through. So you have this French little hanging down here. You reach through and grab this hair back here and pull it through. And so it grabs it into that pony like that, if that makes any sense. Email me, NixieLynn@Yahoo, and I bet I can find a tutorial like it to send to you, but I forgot to bring my comb and stuff in here to do it myself. But it takes like that long. Boy, we always, he said that time about picking strawberries. We don't have that around here. We have wild blackberries though. And I can eat my body weight in blackberries. They are so delicious, and when they're wild, they're even better. Of course, you do have to watch for snakes because snakes like to get in the brambles, but it's worth it. We do have snakes. We have snakes all over the place here. We grow up with them. We just learned to live with them. When I was little, I caught a copperhead one time, and the grace of God, it did not bite me because I like snakes. And I brought it and caught it and brought it in the house and was showing my granny. and she was about to lose her mind. And she talked me into dropping it in a milk jug so that I could show Papa when he came home. And I dropped it down in the milk jug, and she put the lid on it. And then, of course, he came and summarily killed it as soon as he got home. And then, you know, I was in trouble because I wasn't supposed to be touching snakes, but I love them. I always loved them. When I was little bitty, before my sister was born, so I was under 3, we went to Galveston, and there's a Robert Earl Keen song, and I don't know if y'all know it. I think it's Robert Earl Keen. It's called Snake Farm, but there's a snake farm on the way to the coast, and it's been there, I assume it's still there. It's been there a million years. It was there when I was a kid. And so in the end of the 60s, we go through there, and my daddy and my mother both hate snakes, but my daddy's fascinated by them. So he's horrified of them, but he's fascinated. So we go in there, and one of the snakes has had babies. One of the boa constrictors has had babies, and they just have them like in a thing like this, like a tub or something. And I got one. And my parents are looking at the snakes or whatever and turn around, and I have this baby snake, and I'm playing with it. And of course, the person there is, you know, thinking it's fine because they love snakes too, right? And my parents are both losing it. And my daddy said I left, and it's like around San Marcos, if memory serves, and that I cried. He swears I cried all the way to Corpus Christi. From San Marcos to Corpus Christi, y'all can look that up. It's going to take you a minute to get there. And he swears I cried the entire time because they would not let me have that snake. I've always just loved them. I think they're beautiful. There are not a lot of things that I don't think are beautiful, and they don't. Now, scorpions are another thing. Scorpions and bugs, there's something about them that I do not trust. But snakes, I don't have a problem with. I love them. And so, I have always had this relationship with them that I'm fine with it. They don't bother me. They're just trying to do their thing. Now, yes, if one gets up here by the house, if I've had to get them down from up above the doors and things, but I just take and throw them out at the back of the yard. They eat rats. They eat all kinds of bad things, and they're really good. So, but yes, I love picking wild blackberries, but you have to watch for snakes around here. Laurie, I do remember the cross-country magazines, Cross-Country Stitching. They were always fabulous, and they had a bunch of those, is it Jeremiah Junction? Is that what they were called? Those adorable designs in there. Yes, I remember those magazines, and I love them. Okay, Happy Stitcher and Glee. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think a courgette, Courgette, a courgette, I think that's a zucchini, what we call here a zucchini. And so we eat it, we turn it into bread, or we eat it like sauteed, like squash, or like that. Or I've put them in pasta salads, you know, different kind of pastas, things like this. I don't know, but mainly we eat zucchini bread around here. I love it. Charles, yes, the locust shells. Okay, most people call it cicada. Around here, we call it a locust. We know it's not, but we don't care. We call it that anyway. I don't know why. But you can squeeze it, and if you squeeze it, the arms kind of go out a little bit like that, and then you can let it go, and it'll clamp back down. So yes, you can wear them as earrings and things. Also, the little lizards that I'm sitting here trying to think of the name of. It's not a chameleon, but we call it a chameleon because it changes colors. If you scare them, if you can scare them, squeeze them, they'll open up, and you can clamp them on your earrings, and you can wear them hanging down for earrings too. Yes, strange things. But it is true. You can clamp them on your ears and stuff as earrings, the little shells. Allison, y'all are having great adventures. Y'all just enjoy them and have all the fun you can. Kendra, I love that your husband grows his mom's strawberries and his daddy's garlic. It still grows. She said they don't get hardly any strawberries off of it, but it's a cut off of his mama's vine that he's kept cultivated, and that makes me so happy that he still does that. So give him a big hug for me for that. Okay, Rita, Susu's favorite candy is Necco wafers. Necco, Necco, I don't know, wafers. That is her favorite candy still to this day of all the candy out there. Listen, I can get dark chocolate with orange in it, okay? And Susie gonna show up with a Necco wafer? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I'm with Prue Leith on this. This is not worth the calories. And it is chalky. It's weirdness. It's like taking an antacid to me. I don't get it. She loves them. But I do love that your sister is still checking on you. She said the hummingbird came and got in her face 2 or 3 times and she knew that was her sister. And I love that she's still coming and letting you know that she's okay. Maxwell Studio, yes, we walked a barrel. We used to walk a barrel and ride a barrel bull. You have a barrel and you have 4 springs hooked up on it and it bounces and goes all over the place. So yes, we used to do that and it was so fun. So fun. I did get some Happy Mail this week. This was a sweet thank you, and I'm dropping these things out everywhere. From Denise. This always, when I see my own name, it always throws me. It's this beautiful card, and she sent me these adorable colors, and they're called pocket skeins. This is fresh basil. It's by Penguin and Fish. Fresh basil, bumblebee, denim wash, and northern cardinal. These are so cute. And then these adorable little floss drops. Look here. So they have a little thing for your piece you're working with and the whole skein here. And then this part goes to the binder. So thank you so much, Denise. I love that. And I love these. These are the cutest little floss drops. And then I got mail from Anne. And she knows I love her cards. And her Patriotic cards are so beautiful. And y'all know, she sent you a card. You know you got some. This is a card from Anne. And I put them in my Patriotic display. You know I do, because look at that. That is gorgeous. That is the most beautiful thing. So thank you, Anne. And then there's this one. She sent me 2. Look at that. Patty, what are you doing? I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Is there any hope of you getting down and getting out of the way? Now, I got a bunch of Happy Mail from Nancy. But we don't have time to go through those today. Maybe next time, because I'm running out of time. The girls will be here soon, and I need to get shares and shares for next week done. Shares from last week are, here we go. No, that's the one that nobody's going for. Here we go. Okay, I'll get my life right in a minute. Okay. Heather Ellis, if you'll get with me on this one. This is Val, if you'll get me, NieceLynn@yahoo.com, if y'all will email me. Angel, Viv's Crafts, Angel. And years. Where'd it go? Yes, years. This goes to Linda Warner, Linda C. Warner. Linda, if you'll email me. And then the magazine with this adorable strawberry. This is the Just Cross Stitch June 2022 issue. Goes to Kathy Dennison. Kathy Dennison. So if y'all will get with me and let me know your address, I can get those in the mail. Now this week's, please tell me I have a pen here. Hallelujah. Okay, this week's we have, this is A Merry Little Christmas. Use the word little. By Bent Creek. This is so cute. Use the word little. Like that. Little. This is Heart in Hand. Use the word, well, good gravy. She's adorable. I love it. Use the word sing. Like this word. Okay, this is Lizzie Kate. Use the word heart. Follow your heart wherever it leads. So cute. Use the word heart for that one. This is Bent Creek Snowbuds. Use the word snow. And then this one is by Sweet Exemplary, I guess. Let me look at this before I tell a lie, because this is a precious little alphabet. No, this is by You and I and Friends, and it's called Sweet Exemplary. And it's just this tiny little alphabet. So use the word sweet. So use the word sweet if you're interested in that one. Okay, I think that's everything. I'm trying to get all my stuff put up and get ready to go and get my cooking done before, because I got to make a cake and stuff before dinner tonight, because we're doing James Williams Father's Day tonight. So I got to get going. The girls will be here to help me cook and get everything ready. So we have been having all the fun. I'm sure I forgot to catch to save the video. Here they were. They were watching Toy Story, and they were all over here playing the other day. And then Kimmy's showing Catch how to play her little game on her Nintendo. You see he's got one Nini in his mouth and one Nini in his hand. He ain't gonna get caught without no Nini, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. If I can find Bebe's thing real quick, I can maybe show y'all her video. Of him. Okay. He's got his new boots on, and he's dirty, and he's just filthy. He's got his little diaper and his t-shirt, but his new boots on. They got some new sheep. And so he's out there with his new boots on. Him and his daddy went and got new boots yesterday. So he is happy as he could be because he has his new boots on. So I'm going to jump off here. I'm going to get this uploaded. Y'all have a happy Friday. Have a happy Father's Day. And enjoy your weekend and your stitching. Bye.